Okay.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, how is your relationship with Vice President Sara Duterte after her family spewed vitriol against you, your wife, and your administration?
Yeah, magandang hapon, Mr. President.
Good afternoon.
Over the last few days, there were several calls for you to intervene in the clash of the two houses of Congress over People's Initiative. How do you intend to resolve this, sir?
Sir, follow up. Will you keep her as your education secretary despite calls?
Patapos na yung state visit dito sa Vietnam. We are just attending the state dinner that will be given by the President for myself and for the delegation. And it has been a very productive visit, considering that we have been here essentially only for 24 hours. But this has been a product of a great deal of discussion and hard work on both sides, on the Philippine side and on the Vietnam side. Ang nagsimula ito dahil ay lagi kong nakikita at nakakasama si Prime Minister Pham sa mga ASEAN, sa mga APEC. At during that time, linapitan ko siya at sinabi ko dapat mayroon tayong usapan, tayong Vietnam at saka Pilipinas, na hindi tayo magkakagulo. Kahit na nagkakagulo yung iba, tayo dapat ay gumawa tayo ng agreement na hindi tayo hindi tayo papasok diyan sa gulo na yan. And that is then after several meetings, I think 4 or 5 meetings, meron din silang pinopose tungkol nga sa trade in rice specifically. Sinasabi, dahil nabanggit ko rin, na tayo ay number 2 yata na importer galing sa Vietnam. Kaya importante rin sa kanila yung ating exchange. At siyempre para sa atin, very important yan because it is a way to assure that we have a sufficient supply of rice. Nagsimula sa ganyan, ngunit siyempre lumawak na ang usapan at napunta sa mga iba't ibang bagay hanggang sa security, hanggang sa agri, hanggang sa transfer of technology, napunta sa infrastructure development dito sa Vietnam, pati na ang pagbuo ng isang sistema para meron tayo, makamina tayo ng mga tinatawag na green minerals at mula ron ay makakagawa tayo ng baterya sa Pilipinas at ito ay ilalagay sa electric vehicles. Hanggat inaantay natin na mangyari yun, the electric vehicles are already available and they want to enter into the Philippine market with the electric vehicles from here in Vietnam. Ito ay galing sa Vin Group. At marami pang ibang napag-usapan, pati na yung digital technology, pati scholarship sa AI at saka sa tech industries. Ito talaga ay hindi namin inaasahan na mangyayari, ngunit it happened. And that's why, considering that we were here for such a short time, we covered many subjects, which provides the opening for further discussion. And I think that Vietnam is very interested in coming to the Philippines. But ang punot dulo nitong lahat ay yung security and defense na usapan ng Vietnam at ng Pilipinas para hindi tayo magkakaproblema kagaya ng nangyayari sa ibang bansa sa West Philippine Sea. Kaya yun talaga para sa akin ay napakahalaga. At yung agrikultura, siyempre hindi natin pwedeng basta isang tabihan dahil again, it's very important. We have commitments now to be supplied by the Vietnamese rice traders. Pinag-uusapan ng amounts at iniikot ni Secretary Kiko Laurel yung kanilang mga ibang lugar. Dinala siya sa mga research stations, sa kanilang mga farms. At ang sabi niya sa akin, marami siyang natutunan at marami siyang nakikita possibilities ng mga potential na pwedeng palaguhin. So just from those two, I think already we have achieved very much in this very short time. But considering that many other subjects came into play as well, again, marami tayong pwedeng i-develop na potential. Ang ating naging arrangement sa kanila ay yung aking laging sinasabi na kasi yung Vietnam at saka yung Pilipinas, in terms of the economy, in terms of all of that, it is we are very similar. So sasabihin, bakit kayo nagtutulungan? Dahil ang sinusundan natin is let us compete, but let us also cooperate every possible chance that we have. At naunawaan naman talaga nila, and they agreed that that is the way forward. So that is in essence what we have been able to do and what we have been able to achieve on this trip to Vietnam this time. So now I'll open the floor to your questions.
Christina Maralit from Manila Times.
Good afternoon po, Mr. President. Sir, in your recent trip to Japan, nabanggit niyo po that the ASEAN must forge its own code of conduct with regards to the South China Sea. And katulad nga po ng nabanggit ninyo, it's imperative na magkaroon tayo ng agreement with Vietnam regarding this. How soon po ninyo inaasahan for this to be crafted, and have you taken this up with the Vietnamese President and the Prime Minister?
We're pretty much there. Yun yung memorandum of understanding na ating ginawa between our two coast guards, pati yung mga plano na magkakaroon ng joint cruises at joint exercises this year, 2024. So talagang yung sinasabi ko noon na magkaroon ng agreement, kung hindi natin matapos ang code of conduct with ASEAN and China, ay sabi ko, gawin natin bilateral lang muna ng members of ASEAN para naman hindi na natin kailangan alalahanin na magkakaproblema tayo sa Vietnam, magkakaproblema tayo sa Brunei, magkakaproblema tayo sa Malaysia, etc., etc. So that is what that's the effort that we're trying to do, and we have succeeded in that to a certain measure here in Vietnam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Kenneth Pasyente, PTV4.
Hi sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, may update po ba doon sa napagkasunduan ng Department of Agriculture ng Pilipinas at ng Vietnamese National Assembly noong 2022 kung saan yung isusulong po yung kooperasyon sa pagsasaka at pangingisda? Isa po ba yun sa na-discuss nyo rin, sir?
Marami tayong napag-usapan. Yun lamang kahit sa research and development. Ang Vietnam ay pumupunta naman talaga sila, yung kanilang mga researcher, yung kanilang mga scientifico, at saka yung kanilang mga magsasaka, ay pumupunta sa IRI at madala sila nandun and to develop some of the new varieties, to develop some of the new techniques in the cultivation of rice. So that will continue, but mas dadami pa. In terms of fisheries, ang napag-usapan natin ay yung naging maliwanag sa atin kung paano ang treatment natin, kasi merong kaunting kuminsan may mga Vietnamese fishermen na napapadpad sa Philippine waters and vice versa, kung paano ang handling niyan para hindi magkagulo, just to treat them humanely and to send them back to their respective countries. So yes, in terms of development, yun ang dapat nating pag-usapan pa. We have to lay down the specifics, because that is one of the subjects that I was referring to, na hindi naman talaga wala sa agenda, pero lumitaw na subject matter na para sa atin very interesting yan. Kaya yun. Ito yung simula pa lang. Maraming nasimulaan ngayon. Kaya dadami ang diskusyon natin with Vietnam in many other aspects of our relationship.
Thank you, Sir. Raquel Bayan, Radyo Pilipinas.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, ngayon po meron na tayo nasalyuhan na maritime cooperation with Vietnamese Coast Guard. Tapos meron pa po tayo, sir, na isang ito pong Incident Prevention and Management of the South China Sea na kanina rin po pinipresenta. Meron po ba mga particular na hakbang sa loob nitong mga agreement para ma-prevent na po natin yung aggression ng China sa South China Sea?
Well, the agreement is between Vietnam and the Philippines. So, kung anong gawin ng ibang bansa, hindi naman kasama yon. Basta't ang ating usapan with Vietnam is pagka may nangyari, meron tayong maliwanag na paraan kung paano pag-usapan para hindi lumaki ang gulo. Hindi naman tayo we don't have any confrontations with Vietnam, as a matter of fact. Despite the fact that we have conflicts in territorial waters, about territorial waters, but it has never been beyond. It has never gone beyond any diplomatic contacts. Hindi na pupunta sa gulo kagaya na sa mga nangyayari sa nakaraan. So it is a bilateral arrangement between the Philippines and Vietnam.
Thank you, sir. Other topics? Kat Domingo of ABS-CBN.
Okay.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, how is your relationship with Vice President Sara Duterte after her family spewed vitriol against you, your wife, and your administration?
It's exactly the same because she hasn't said anything of that nature, and wala naman siyang sinasabi na ganyang klase, so hindi naman nagbabago.
Sir, follow up. Will you keep her as your education secretary despite calls?
I'm sorry?
Will you keep her as your education
Yes.
secretary despite calls from her family for you to step down?
Yes.
Sir, last question. Ivan Mayrina, May 7.
Yeah, magandang hapon, Mr. President.
Good afternoon.
Over the last few days, there were several calls for you to intervene in the clash of the two houses of Congress over People's Initiative. How do you intend to resolve this, sir?
Well, we have been in continuous discussion with both houses in the recent days. In fact, before I left, I met with our legal luminaries and tried to find a way. Dahil naman ang habol ko talaga dyan are the economic provisions that I have been talking about this for many years already. So, napupunta sa ibang usapan at nagagamit na pampolitika itong issue na ito. So, I have asked the leaders of both houses, and again, some of the best constitutional minds that we have in the Philippines, to come up with a simpler solution that does not cause so much controversy. I think it is the usual conflict between the House and the Senate in the whether to vote together or separately. Now, the best advice that we are getting, the best analysis and interpretation that we have, is that the legislature is of a bicameral nature, and therefore that implies that they will vote separately. So, how that will be done now is what we are trying to figure out. Well, how will it be done so that both houses' role in this bicameral system is preserved, and that is what we are working on right now.
Sir, and what about the People's Initiative? What happens to the People's Initiative?
We don't know yet. We haven't made those decisions yet. But I think as of now, the People's Initiative is they're continuing, but that's not. I don't know if that is still one of the options that remains to us.
What do you use the best most, sir?
That's why we are asking mga former Chief Justices, si Chief Luke na tinatrabaho, our legal counsel in our soon-to-be centenarian legal counsel, si Manong JP, at yung mga constitutionalist, tinatanong nga natin, ano sa palagay ninyo ang pinakatamang gawin? So the details have not yet been decided upon. That is precisely what we will be working on when I get back.
Sir, last na lang po, follow-up kay Kat. As far as you're concerned, is there still a Uniteam?
Is there still a?
Uniteam.
Well, I think so. I believe so. Because if you remember, Uniteam is not just one party or two parties or three parties. It's the unification of all hopefully all the political forces in the Philippines to come together for the good of the country. And that is still there. It is still vibrant. It is still working. And we will continue on that basis.
Thank you, sir.
All right?